Let me tell you a story. In 2011, I sat in a meeting at a large organization that had just launched a major financial wellness initiative. The materials were polished, the vendor presentation was compelling, the program had clearly been designed with real care and real investment. There was just a single problem. The curriculum was built around helping employees navigate the aftermath of the 2008 financial crisis, the housing collapse, the mortgage modification programs, the unemployment spike. But it was 2011. The crisis they were solving for had peaked 3 years earlier. The housing market was recovering. Unemployment was dropping. The financial reality of the employees sitting in those workshops had moved on, but the program hadn't, and nobody in that room said anything. And this is not an isolated story. It is one of the most consistent, most damaging, and least discussed problems in the entire employee financial wellness industry. And if your organization has a financial wellness program or is considering one, you need to know about it. Here's how corporate financial wellness programs actually get built. I'm going to walk you through the timeline because once you see it, you can't unsee it. Step 1, a research organization conducts a survey. They collect data on employee financial stress, financial behaviors, financial knowledge gaps. This takes time. The survey is designed, distributed, collected, and analyzed. We're now typically 12 to 18 months after the financial conditions being measured. Step 2, the data is published. Industry reports come out. HR conferences feature the findings. Vendors use the data to redesign their programs. Another 6 to 12 months. And step 3, an organization decides to invest in financial wellness. They research vendors, they evaluate programs, they negotiate contracts, they get budget approved, and then they do pilot testing. They train the facilitators, they design the rollout communication. Another 12 to 18 months. Step 4, the program launches. Add it all up, by the time employees are sitting in a financial wellness program or logging into a financial wellness portal, the data that the program was designed around is 2 to 4 years old. In a financial environment that is moving as fast as the one we've been living in, with interest rate changes, inflation spikes, student loan policy shifts, gig economy growth, housing market volatility, AI disruption, 2 to 4 years might as well be a different era. Let me be specific about what this lag costs because it's not abstract. When interest rates were near zero, the debt advice that mattered was about optimizing between different types of low-rate debt. When interest rates spike to 5 to 6%, which is exactly what happened, the conversation changes entirely. Suddenly, carrying adjustable rate debt is an emergency. Suddenly, the refinancing window that existed 2 years ago is closed. Suddenly, the advice that made sense before is not just unhelpful, it's potentially harmful. When student loan programs are stable, you can design curriculum around them with confidence. When the SAVE plan gets struck down, when the repayment assistant plan launches, when PSLF eligibility rules change, which is all happening right now in 2025 and 2026, employees who are making loan repayment decisions based on program content from 2 years ago are making decisions with wrong information. When gig economy income was a side story, financial wellness programs could treat it as a footnote. Now, with millions of workers either fully or partially dependent on platform income, like Uber, DoorDash, Instacart, Upwork, and with teachers, construction workers, and hourly employees increasingly supplementing their primary income with gig work, a program that doesn't specifically address irregular income management is failing a huge percentage of its users. The lag is not a technicality, it is a gap between what employees need right now and what the program thinks they need based on data that describes a world that no longer fully exists. There's a second related problem that's worth naming separately. Most large financial wellness programs are designed around the modal American worker, the statistical center of the workforce. They assume a two-income household, a certain level of financial literacy, a certain relationship with digital tools, a certain type of debt profile. What they often miss, the first-generation professional who has no family financial template and is navigating a professional income for the first time, the hourly worker who is paid weekly or bi-weekly in irregular amounts, the teacher who is paid monthly and needs to distribute that income across 31 days, the seasonal worker whose income concentrates in 6 months and then disappears in the other 6, the employee who doesn't have a bank account, the gig worker whose income arrives on a 1099 and comes with tax obligations nobody walked them through. These are not edge cases. In most workforces, these populations collectively represent a significant portion of the employees who need financial wellness support the most. And they're the ones most likely to be underserved by a program that was designed around the average, using data that's already years old. So, what does a financial wellness program look like when it's not built around stale data and imaginary average workers? It's facilitator-led rather than content delivered. A trained human being can respond in real time to what participants are actually dealing with. This week, with this interest rate, in this housing market, with this specific loan situation, a portal cannot do this. Static content cannot do this. A curriculum that hasn't been updated in 2 years definitely cannot do this. A program has to embrace behavior change, not just information transfer. The goal is not to just educate employees about financial concepts. The goal is to change what employees do on Tuesday morning when they check their bank account. That requires structure, accountability, and practice, not just a library of resources. The program has to be updated continuously. The student loan landscape changed dramatically in 2025 and 2026. A good financial wellness program was talking about that the week it happened, not 18 months later when the curriculum revision cycle finally addressed it. And it works for the full range of people actually in your workforce, not just the ones who fit the statistical profile the program was designed for. The organization I sat in that room with in 2011 eventually realized their program wasn't working and replaced it. That cost them time, money, and the trust of employees who had to sit through the programming that didn't apply to them. You don't have to wait for that realization. When you're evaluating any financial wellness vendor, including us, ask them one question. When was your curriculum last updated? And how do you respond to changes in the financial environment between curriculum cycles? The answer will tell you everything. And if you want to see what a program that actually keeps pace with your employees' real financial lives looks like, I'd love to show you. Reach out at expedition.money or email us at info@expedition.money. We'll walk you through exactly what Expedition Money covers, how it's delivered, and why it produces outcomes that just a portal or a webinar series simply can't match. Because getting financial wellness actually right for your actual people and the actual financial environment they're navigating right now is totally fetch. I'm Peter Weitzman. I'll see you next time.